Most people pick their player props based off of hit rates and matchups only. The only issue is that if you're doing that, you're seriously going to lose a lot of money. Here's why. Looking at specifically just player props is only kind of looking at one part of the entire picture. Without fully understanding how the game is going to go, you're kind of a little bit blind. It's very deceiving to just look at hit rates and matchups. I'm sure, just as much as I have, you can think of a time where you took a prop that had an amazing hit rate and an amazing matchup. You want to know what? It probably didn't hit. Trust me. That's happened a lot to me. The only thing though is that after a couple hard times of me losing that same way, I decided something needed to change. So I thought really hard about this, and I haven't really found any sort of video going over this topic at all of game flow analysis, understanding the whole picture of the game, and then look for props correlating to the game. I haven't found anything like it. I'm not making claims that I've created this new thing, but all I'm doing is just presenting to you something that I've learned throughout the time of me sports betting. And truthfully, when you look at Pikkit, if you guys have Pikkit, it's a sports betting tracking app where it shows you the money you've made or the percentage ROI you've made every single day. It's drastic. The difference when I was betting just off of props and hit rate compared to when I switched to game flow analysis, then did my research on props. So how do you do game flow analysis? If you're interested in, maybe becoming profitable like myself, you might be wondering, well, you're talking about what this thing is, but how do you do it? So I use Outlier Betting. It's basically a platform that provides you with tons of stats. I'm not sponsored, so I'm not going to try to sell you on it. Do as you please. If you want to try to do some free stuff, I don't care. Basically, though, it provides me a simple, I could see it all on one page. It shows me, and again, I like to just say it's Vegas because I don't really know what to call it, but the total over or under on points for a game. I kind of like to put it in ranges for the total over or under. So you'll see the line that Vegas sets. It could be anything. Generally, you'll see it from the 220s to the 240s. Usually 225 and below is going to be a low scoring game. Anywhere from 225 to maybe 235 is a mid-scoring game. And anything basically above 235 is a high-scoring game. And competitiveness. Now you're wondering maybe, how do you know if it's going to be a competitive game or not? This is where Vegas will set the line on spreads. Now, it's kind of hard for me to explain. Again, I'm trying to teach this as I learn, but it's basically the margin of victory. So let's say a hypothetical scenario where Denver is favored over the Hornets to win. Denver's line is going to be at, let's just say 11.5. And Hornets, it's going to be negative 11.5. Hornets is going to be positive 11.5. And so if you were to take Denver's, although this is kind of irrelevant, but basically what it means, so you have a better understanding, is if you took Denver, you'd be betting that Denver is going to win by more than 11.5 points. If you took the Hornets, you would be saying that they're going to be within 11.5 points by the end of the game. Not by any point during the game, but at the end of the game. Basically, if the spread is a large number, if it's anything beyond 5, you get into the category of it could possibly be a blowout. Generally, if it's like 10 and above, that's usually a blowout. But if it's somewhere like in the middle, maybe semi-controlled, it could be maybe an underdog win, but generally speaking, it's usually a controlled game. And then if it gets under 5 for the spread, it's usually competitive. Again, this can vary. Now we get into this different realm of things where I'm still trying to learn and adapt to. I'm trying to refine my strategy every day just because obviously I'm greedy. I want to make as much money as possible. So we're almost gonna kind of put our trust in the smart money. However you want to take that. Essentially, with Outlier, after you can look at the spread, total over under on points, you can look at where the sharp money is on these specific bets. So you can see if the sharp money is basically smart people money. It's the rich people, because there's public betting and there's sharp money. And public betting is the majority of people. And sharp money is where a lot of the big money is going. So usually you want to trust the sharp money. Not 100%, but over the public. And it'll tell you kind of if they're over or under, like if it's total over or under on points. You'll see where the sharp money is at. You'll see where the sharp money is at on the spread. And then also you could look at where the sharp money is at on the money line, which is who the sharp money thinks is going to win the game overall. Once you have an understanding on if it's going to be a high scoring, medium scoring, low scoring, or it's competitive, semi-controlled, or a blowout, that then leads you into a direction to find props that correlate with the game, but it's correlating. You're adding more to the list of reasons why it's going to hit. If it's high scoring games, I generally am only going to touch the favored teams over on points and assists or points plus assists. If it's competitive. If it's a blowout, I stick to first half props, again, because the second half can be unpredictable being a blowout. So if it's a high scoring blowout, I would stick to first half points and assists or points plus assists on the favored team. If it's competitive, I look for the favored team's overall full game points and assists. If it's a medium scoring game, I generally just touch the favored team if it's a clear and confident outcome. PRAs. The reason I do this is because it can be a little bit more unpredictable because it's medium scoring. So it's just the safer option to go with PRAs, especially if it's competitive, because we know that they're going to get a lot of opportunities. They're going to be touching the ball, getting rebounds, could be a lot of missed shots, could be a lot of makes. You have the safety net. And again, I don't really touch the losing team on that one. And if it's a blowout, same logic. I usually just do first half PRAs. I don't touch the second half if it's blowouts because it's too unpredictable. Low scoring games, there can be exceptions, but generally speaking, the favored team's rebounds over is what I like to look at. And again, this is like the consistent players. I don't like to touch inconsistent players with inconsistent minutes and inconsistent stats. It's just too scary for me, obviously, because they're inconsistent. So it's basically a lottery, and I'm not trying to do that. But for a low scoring game, if it's competitive, I'm usually looking for the over on rebounds, for leading rebounders, and the occasional under on scoring stats for the losing team. Because we know it's going to be a low scoring game, we can sometimes feel confident that we're taking the under on points and assists because those are scoring stats when it's a low scoring game. Now, I want to harp this very important fact that this is only sending you in a direction to then do your research, opposed to just hopping into research. This isn't replacing research. Once you've done the analysis, all it does is sends you in a direction to do your regular research for good hit rates, good matchups, checking injuries, all that kind of stuff. I'm not explaining that in this video, but I'm not replacing it. All this is doing is, like I said earlier, it's adding to the list of reasons why this prop is going to hit, because it aligns with the entire game. Don't force plays just because it matches up with the game flow analysis. It takes an extra 5 minutes per game to just look at the total over or under, look at the spread, look at where the sharp money is on both, and also just look at the money line and where the sharp money is on that. You get a bit of an understanding. Again, kind of going hand in hand. Don't always just go with sharp money. Don't always just go with the Vegas lines. Use your brain. Be intelligent. I don't know if you guys end up wanting to see me do this live, and so I can break down my actual thought process when I'm looking at a game. Let me know in the comments. Just let me know. I'm here to talk. I want you guys to talk with me. I appreciate all the support on all the other platforms, and looking forward to another good day of money.